Apple is coming to the Triangle. The company has promised to invest more than $1 billion in North Carolina.
WRAL's investigative data journalist Ali Ingersoll examined the hefty incentives package the state promised and how we arrived at such a large number.
This is a site that's set to be home to Apple's new campus. We know that the state has given them a hefty incentive package to come here. Now, through public records, we're finding out that it's more than any other state.
I'm proud to announce that
Apple's latest commitment to North Carolina includes adding 3,000 jobs and investing $1 billion into the economy with the creation of a new campus at RTP. According to the subsidy tracker maintained by a group that promotes accountability and economic development, since 2009, North Carolina has offered Apple $1.2 billion through 9 different incentive programs. Not only is that the highest incentive amount from any state where records are available, it is 2.5 times the total amount Apple has received from every other state combined.
Apple's a game changer. It's an iconic firm. It's going to encourage growth in the Triangle.
The state uses the Walden model, named after NC State economist Mike Walden. So who better to explain the process?
This is a poker game in some sense. North Carolina is now participating with a lot of chips.
The model is like a scale, weighing the pros and cons for offering incentives. It calculates the economic impact, both direct and indirect, like employee salaries and tax revenue generated, along with impacts for local suppliers and increased retail sales. In all, the model estimates that would be around $3.4 billion a year. Compare that with the costs, like how much the state will lose in tax revenue from the incentives, along with other costs like public services, estimated at $1.4 billion. So, as you can see, the math seems to make sense. If Apple meets its goals, the benefits outweigh the costs, as the state stands to make $2 billion each year while paying at most $28 million annually in incentives for the 39-year term. But opponents say these grants and incentives give corporations an unfair advantage.
The taxes that those corporations are not paying need to be made up by somebody, and that somebody is going to be all the other business owners and entrepreneurs across the state.
Balfour feels Apple doesn't need the financial help. Last year, the company's revenue grew by more than $365 billion, meaning they were making about $1 billion every day. Other states have lured Apple deals with far fewer incentives. Texas, for example. In 2018, the company pledged to hire 4,000 workers and open a $1 billion facility. So not too different from what they plan on doing here. For that commitment, though, the Texas Enterprise Fund gave the company just $25 million. North Carolina's offered incentives more than 33 times that. State officials told WRAL they believe their offer was competitive, and that's why Apple ultimately chose North Carolina. Documents detailing the Apple deal show that Ohio also offered lucrative incentives. But North Carolina, Apple noted, had more to offer than money, like the Triangle's accessibility, talent, real estate, and building costs. And Walden believes Apple's move to the Triangle will entice other corporations to make the move without having to offer them incentives.
For Raleigh and the Triangle, it just increases our status. So it's likely to improve and enhance our economic growth.
As far as we can tell, no construction is happening here, so it's unclear when exactly this campus will be up and running. In Morrisville, Ali Ingersoll, WRAL News.
A lot of zeros involved in those numbers. Now, the grant officially begins in 2023. The company wouldn't tell us where progress stands on campus construction.